So today was different, big time, because um, I'm thinking more of it as a walk. The turns as walking, and so that includes uh, that includes the left side when we approach the catch. So from single support to the point in which um, the foot comes down for the catch is a hamstring curl. So there's different dynamics and different points of the throw. And of course, I would say at the initiation of the catch, it just depends, because if I think that it's only if its only purpose is to support, then I'm going to be stuck there. Um, but and also if I think it's external rotation, then it's also going to think of support. So it's going to also get left behind. So, and it's also going to stand me up. So it takes the relaxation out of it. As soon as I think support or external rotation, I'm thinking of almost extending the right leg. That's just what happens. So instead, initiating the catch from single support. So as soon as I literally am curling, it's greatest. I mean, it's just a weird. It's such a strange concept, but that's what I mean. I was having success technically today, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Which will then shift the weight to right side, which is something I've observed watching FIDEC, is that it goes from the catch, the heel comes down, the right hip shoots out. So what external rotation is a byproduct of what the action is. Because the knee is constantly in a flexed position, and the hip is in a flexed position, and so it was initiated from the left side in single support. That's what I was focusing on. Okay, so when I get into double support from the catch to zero, now I have to think about, okay, I have to relax, because I have to wait until that heel gets down. And then when the heel gets down, I'm thinking about internally rotating with the heel while the right side is acting as if it's walking. So the throw is walking. The turns are walking. It isn't okay, at this point you're doing something. It's a constant state of the same motion. It's a perpetual motion. So the difficult thing with that is when to apply force and when to not apply force. Just because you're in a good position doesn't mean anything. That good position should be a byproduct of what you are implementing on the ball or on the ground. Just because you say good posture doesn't, okay, that's just dandy. But if I'm manufacturing good posture and I don't know what's going on, why I have good posture, there's something wrong, and it's going to be detrimental to your training in the long run, because you don't have those answers. So what happens when you don't have good posture? You don't know how to fix it. And so I know that, and I know that it could be a combination of things, because I don't want to say that every degree of the rotation deserves some will imply that there's a different effect on the ball or a different action acquired to the ball, which there is, but at the same time, it's the same. It's the same concept, and so that's what keeps it simple. Is if it is the same. If I try to do too many things, even if I try to do two things, externally rotate to think about walking from catch to zero as external rotation to from zero to single support back to the catch is all walking, then it's just too much to for the body. The body can do it. The body can do it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to yield the same result. That and the fact that I haven't been feeling like I've been applying pressure into the ground. And so if I'm thinking just, okay, it's going to be support only, there's nothing happening to the ground. It's not worth it. If I think external rotation, then there's still kind of nothing going on in the ground. There is a little bit, but there isn't a lot. But if I'm thinking about running or walking, I am introducing force into the ground in which will perpetuate the ball. And so like that's where I'm going to stick with that. The entirety of the turn, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh turn, is a form of, I would say more so than anything, power walking. Because I think of power walking just because it's like the rules regulate that you have to have 2 feet on the ground at all times. No, you have to have you have to have at least 1 foot on the ground at all times. That sounds fucking terrible. You have to have both feet on the ground at the same time. You can't. When you're transitioning from one point of support to the next point of support, you can't act as if you're running. I don't know what the rule is specifically. Forgive me for that, but you can't leave the ground. Both feet can't be off the ground at the same time. I think that's it. Both feet can't be off the ground at the same time. I think that sounds right. That sounds right. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm trying to think about here.